Even though Krishna was with the Pandavas, they still suffered immensely. Why? If you're a devotee, you've likely thought about this at least once during a time of worry. That if I'm spiritual and I believe in God, will I be protected from misery? The truth is, you can't change what will happen in life. But with the love of God, you can be protected from the suffering of pain. His love gives you jnana, the clarity and understanding that whatever happens to you will help you grow and evolve as a person. There's one very interesting story from Buddhism where a monk asks the Buddha, suffering from old age, disease, and death, these are all the big ones, but then there are smaller issues, smaller malfunctions, and life altering pains like losing loved ones, failing in business, betrayal, sometimes from those closest to us. And yet you have attained enlightenment, but still you are aging. Sometimes you fall ill, and eventually you too will die. So, how does your teaching take you and us beyond suffering? To this, the Buddha replies, suffering has two arrows. The first is what the world throws at you, and the second arrow is your reaction to that suffering. And it is the second arrow that causes the real pain. And what I'm teaching you is how to change your response to suffering. That is the path beyond it. You see, it's the same question that I asked in the beginning. The Pandavas had no one but the preserver himself by their side. And yet, as Bhishma says, the Pandavas, despite having Lord Krishna with them, suffered the most. Every devotee at some point wonders, I'm on a spiritual path, I believe in God, and still I suffer. So, should we stop being spiritual so we can stop suffering? But the truth is, if you stop being spiritual, you are hit by both arrows. The problem with us is that, we love to bargain. We want to negotiate even the first arrow itself. That, oh God, can I please not have too much suffering? Can my karmic debts be lightened? To some extent, yes. Your God, your mother, Ma, your Krishna will help you. Your bhakti is definitely going to protect you, but just because you're a good person, just because you believe in God, it won't eliminate suffering. In fact, Swami Vivekananda also taught this very important truth. He said, devotion is not an armor against suffering. It is the strength to walk through fire and still grow, still rise, still love. He has mentioned that the greatest men in the world have passed through the severest of tribulations. He pointed out that Sri Ramakrishna, his guru, and even Buddha faced immense suffering, not because they were far from God, but because they were so close to the truth that they were tested, purified, and made instruments of higher will. For him, suffering was the tool for growth. Swami Vivekananda saw suffering not as a punishment, but as a means of spiritual purification. He believed that soul evolves through challenges, pain, and obstacles, and that these experiences make us stronger, freer, and wiser, of course. He often emphasized that suffering, when it comes to true seekers or devotees, has a higher purpose. It breaks your ego, purifies your heart, and makes you an individual, an instrument of the divine will. So maybe the question is not, why do I suffer if I believe in God? Maybe the real question is, who do I become because of it? Pain is part of the journey, but with devotion, that pain becomes purpose. With surrender, that chaos becomes clarity. And with love, even suffering becomes a sacred offering. Because the one who walks through fire with God in their heart, not bitterness, emerges not just stronger but transformed. And maybe that's what grace, kripa, really is. Now tell me, have you ever gone through a difficult time that deepened your faith instead of breaking it? Share your story in the comments. Your words might be the light someone else needs today.